Peace. So what's going on? I'm gonna be brief. I was thinking about the science of labels, right? Labeling. Most times when you're dealing with labels, you're dealing with things that are branded. In other words, a label becomes a brand. You know what I'm saying? And usually a brand is sold as some type of what we would call a product. Supply and demand, products, so on and so forth. Why is this important? Why is labels important? Why is branding important? Because you can make money off of brands. And we see it all the time. We see the different clothing brands. We see the different car brands, sneaker brands. You just see all of these different brands. You know what I mean? And all of the brands have labels attached to them. And the labels are the names of these different types of brands, of course. And the name of the brand, the label produces the economics for that brand. The more the brand is propagated, the more the brand is, what's the word I'm looking for? Advertised. The more the brand is seen by the people, the more the brand is pushed onto the people, the more the people want the brand. Which is common capitalism. But the thing takes a drastic turn when you think about labeling and brands and you relate it to people, or you put it on the human being and the human condition. One of the first labels that I know of that were put on us specifically is nigger. It may be other labels, you know what I'm saying, but this label particularly, nigger. This label, you understand what I'm saying? First of all, the person who was able to come up with the term to apply it to another group of human beings itself was a very ignorant type of move. So the person who attributed, or the persons who attributed that term nigger to a demographic of people or a biological makeup of people, actually themselves are the true niggers. They were transferring. You know what I'm saying? They were transferring their own selves onto another demographic of people, right? That label in itself, nigger, that label became a produce, became a brand. And what do I mean by that? From the word nigger came a whole industry of entertainment. The minstrel show, the chitlin circuit, and a bunch of other things. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just giving you kind of like an idea. That became a money-making thing, you know what I'm saying, for the Caucasian. And for some of the actors and actresses who participated in this thing that they call the chitlin circuit, or the minstrel shows, vaudeville acts, so on and so forth. But this all came stemming from the label of nigger and the label of slave, coming off of the plantation. Even slave has a brand to it because slaves were sold and slaves became produce. So when we're looking at this thing about labels and brands, we have to be very careful, because see, just like all those words have labels and brands make produce, and produce create money, it's the same thing for black, colored, and Negro. See, all of those labels have brands too. Right now, when we look at America and we're looking at all of the different types of brands in this country, many of those brands came from the condition and the plight of our people. Out of the trauma of our people, many of those brands manifested themselves. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at the labels like Negro became a brand. You understand what I'm saying? Colored became a brand. You know what I mean? We had inventions and so on and so forth under the guise of colored that never gave us any type of capital, but it worked for the other side of the fence. It worked for whiteness. You see what I'm saying? So everything that they have labeled and everything that you accept as a label, you voluntarily become produce. You voluntarily become a money-making tag for a systematic, traumatization that somebody is basically basing their economy off of. So we have to be very aware of labels, because somebody can turn you into merchandise. You see what I'm saying? And we see this happening all the time. Our plight is taken and it's monetized. You know what I mean? It's monetized by somebody else. Black Lives Matter is a monetized situation that was taken from our trauma that was created by George Soros and a bunch of other European men. You see what I'm saying? Many times our plights become money for another group of people. So the labeling, Negro, became a product because of what Negro produced. It became a product and it was sold. You see what I mean? And then we became commerce as well. We've always been commerce and product and the biggest consumers of products. But yet we are the smallest producers of product and manufacturing, but yet we have all of the product in our makeup. And other people take our trauma and turn that into monetized, wealth, when we can take our own goodness and turn that into a monetized wealth as well. You know what I'm saying? And label that. You know what I mean? So the thing is that my idea, the labeling theory, becoming a brand, it's the science behind it. We can no longer allow ourselves to be labeled by other people. If we're going to be labeled, then we must begin to label and brand ourselves and sell our own brand. You understand what I'm saying? And push our own label. Therefore, we'll be able to empower ourselves and have more of a self-autonomous, you know what I'm saying, peace. Now, many other nations have turned themselves into products and brands. They've taken their cultural paradigm and they come over and they turn it into a brand. Like, for instance, culinary, food, different types of food from different places. You know what I'm saying? Those people bring their culture, the common food that they eat every day at home, they bring it here and they monetize it because we're America and we don't have access to the Thai culture or certain other cultures. So they bring it in their culinary aspects and they sell their product, their label, their cultural paradigm. We have to begin to do the same. That's all I'm saying. Don't be a product. Don't be the label. Peace.